Hello everyone. I'm sure you've noticed that Influent is full of digital resources for us to use with our students. My name is Sandra, and today I'll be showing a few of these resources available in the interactive textbook. Shall we go? Now, the most important feature is that the textbook is fully interactive, and this is what we'll be looking at right now. So all the units start with an EV story, which is the resource that you can see here. Now, this story, this EV story, is going to act as a preview of all the resources, all the material, all the topics that are going to be covered in this unit, or in this module in particular. Now, this is very good because it's going to allow students to have a snapshot of what they're going to be working on, and it also aids the teacher because this way we can have a little bit of a needs assessment. We can see what students already know, what they don't know. So let's see how this works. So you're going to have image, sound, text as well. So it's quite multimodal in order to cater to a number of learning preferences. We do know that students learn in different ways. So here we've got a perfect match of text, image, and sound. Now moving on, let me tell you that in the physical book, you will find that these exercises are, there's a QR code, and this QR code is going to allow students to use their phone in order to access not only audio, but also video resources. Now, again, we need to make students responsible for their learning. So this is one way of bringing mobile devices into the classroom, or simply allowing them to do so, to do the activity at home, which is also very, very important. Now, moving on to this section over here, you can see that we have resources that are available only for the teacher, which are the ones in blue. The ones here above are both for the teacher and for the students. But in the ones that we have here, I'd like to refer that these are editable. So you can, all these worksheets, all these documents, the lesson plans, the worksheets, you're going to have the possibility to edit them according to your students' needs. I'd also like to show you this little video here, because this is an example of what you will find in a number of pages. Now, these videos are real language videos, so it's a way of incorporating realia into the lesson. And you will hear, let me move this ahead, so you're going to listen to, they're going to listen to real people, not actors, but real people just speaking and answering questions like interviews or giving opinion and so on. In the reading listening sections, one of the resources you're going to find are the reading videos. So we have this text here. It's about multilingual celebrities. We've got the audio, which we can adjust in terms of speed to whatever is relevant. Now we can also use it, set it as a homework task if we're using flipped learning, and students can choose to listen to the text in faster or slower, right? So according to what they need. In class, or at home, but in class, if you want to use this, you will see that the text
Multilingual celebrities
is going to play.
Learning languages has been an essential part of many celebrities' lives. They have discovered the great benefits of learning another language.
Again, so very multimodal approach. Now, something that I'd like to share with you is that you can see that this pop-up box can be moved around in the page so that you can have the text, and at the same time you'll be able to show the exercises that accompany the text, which is quite useful, especially if you're projecting in a classroom. Also to tell you that it's not just the audio, the listenings that have adapted speed, the videos also have adapted speed. So you can decide how fast or how slow your videos are going to play. When we move to the grammar sections, we will find that in all grammar sections, we have grammar worksheets, we've got quiz EV, we've got games. All of these are available to the students. For example, this grammar tool here is going to show the how the past simple is used. Now, you've got a number of exercises, and then you have the explanations in a very visual way with colors, and all of this is going to allow students to better understand, better acquire the language. Apart from this, we've got a number of resources that are exclusive for the teacher. So you've got fast grammar worksheets, you've got inclusive education worksheets, you're going to have PowerPoint, you're going to have quiz, EV. Let me show you a PowerPoint. There you go. The PowerPoints are ready for you, so you can use them. You don't have to worry about folders, you don't have to worry about forgetting things at home. Everything is concentrated in one single place to make it really easier for us to work with. So another feature that is worth mentioning are the digital exercises. You have the exercises to fill in, and then you can show the answers. Now, to show the answers, there are two ways. You can either show all the answers at once, which can be good for a general check, or you can choose to show one answer at a time, which I'm sure you see the potential and how useful this is. Now, in the reading sections, apart from the reading videos that I've already showed you, we have another feature, which is the reading karaoke. So once you click on this resource, right, you can move it around, as I mentioned before, right, and you can either choose to play it and it will show where it is being read, or you can decide that you want to start reading the text from a certain point, and by clicking on it, it will start. So it's very versatile, very flexible, and quite useful if you want to have more than one student reading the text and following intonation and stress. For grammar, there's also a resource that is new and which is quite useful, especially with students this age, which are the digital games. Now, we have a number of climbing games. This is just an example, and you can see that it's a fun, engaging way to make students more involved in whatever they are using. Now we get to the end of the unit, and at the end of the unit, we're going to have writing sections, for example. And in this writing section, you will have a video tutorial that is going to show students how to write a review. Again, this multimodal approach of allowing students to use multiple senses to learn is quite effective, especially when we're talking about older students and in the vocational school context. A quick quiz at the end of the unit that's going to allow you to assess the student's progress in a sort of a formative assessment. And since we're talking about this, let me go back to the main menu and show you the interactive tests. So these interactive tests, as I said, they're formative. This is formative assessment. They can be sent to students as a task. They can be used in class as a group activity or pair work. They are quite useful. They're based on the unit. They have a lot of potential in terms of learning or making sure that your students have been learning exactly what you want them and need them to learn. So speech recognition is another feature that, at least for me, it was new, but I've already tested it and I found that it could be quite useful, especially for students this age that are quite self-conscious about how they say things and they want to speak. So with this, you have the possibility of students listening to a recording. There is a sentence, the text that accompanies the recording, and once they've listened to it, so to model the intonation, the stress, and so on, they have the possibility of recording themselves and listening, and afterwards listening and getting feedback of how their pronunciation has been. We know in vocational teaching how important project-based learning is. So this is going to be one of the resources that are the most important for us. Now, this is an example of one of the projects, right? This is about planning a school trip. You've got the description, the aims, how much time it's going to be needed, how many activities, and anything that you need to know about this project. And here you've got more detailed explanation of each of the sections that is going to be involved in the project. Now, despite all the resources that we have, we can't forget that we do have a workbook, and the workbook is with the student's book in the physical form. However, here in the interactive version, you will see that you have two separate sections. Now, the workbook is also fully interactive. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed the resources we showed you in this video. And if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to get in touch. See you next time.